Yeah. So, anyway, they most people are far more preoccupied with the fact that I had treated those two police officers with disrespect than the fact that they were trying to send me to prison where, I could have gotten beat up, I could have gotten sodomized, I could have gotten shanked to death with a homemade knife. Anything could have happened to me. And if I survived prison, then when I got out, I would be permanently branded a thief unjustly. I would be permanently branded a break-and-enter man unjustly. And I would have to go around with that hanging around my neck for the rest of my life when I didn't deserve it. No, that wasn't the worst thing that happened in that situation according to the majority of Canadians. The worst thing that happened in that situation is I was disrespectful to an officer. That's the worst thing that happened, apparently, in that situation. And those police officers were victims of me because I was disrespectful to them. I victimized them by not showing them the respect that they figured that their position entitled them to. A golf ball. Find these all over here. Oh, this one's got a big chunk out of it. There's the inside of a golf ball. Anyway, I think somebody chips them from the property over there, is what I think it is. Somebody's been chipping them into the field. Yeah, oh well. Anyway, and I could rhyme off so many examples of that, where people are just really upset more about, if you don't show the authority respect and be obedient to authority, that upsets the average Canadian more than if authority behaves in a way that isn't really worthy of respect. Oh, there's a nice rock. Look at that with all the moss on it. Pretty neat. Pretty darn neat it is. Yes. Anyway, so that's pretty much it. That's the reason that I really dislike Canada, is because of that. I've run into that so many times, and it's been a bother to me. The propane man was just here, delivering propane to the house to keep the furnace running for the family here. But yeah, anyway, I find that quite disturbing, and it's something that's always bothered me about Canada. And we're seeing this now. It's happening in a big way now. I'm not saying all Canadians are like that. I know Canadians who aren't like that. And more Canadians are changing because the corruption is affecting them in a direct way now. And there's no better way to convince people that there is corruption than to have them experience it firsthand. And honestly, if I hadn't experienced the corruption I experienced, I might have been, and probably would have been, just like them, and said, well, what are you doing to the poor police that they're having to treat you that way? Just a chair in the middle of nowhere, So yeah, that's it anyway. But because of that anyway, I found that I have been, like I say, I just find that I'm not really a big fan of Canada anyway for that reason. I find the Canadian people are like that. I'm not even really as mad at the authorities for being corrupt as I sound like I am. In a way, I don't blame them, because if they can be corrupt and have the full support of the people while they be corrupt, then why shouldn't they be? I mean, if you gravitate towards corruption, then why shouldn't you be corrupt if you're going to be supported in that, So in a way, I understand them, and I don't really even blame them. I blame the Canadian public for allowing it to go on. But Anyway, the last video cut out on me. This video is in 3 parts because the last video cut out on me. Again, because the phone tried to do an update, so it shut my camera down. I wanted to do it in 2 parts, but it's going to be in 3 parts for that reason. But, yeah, basically, I've had some major issues with my country, with Canada, because I just don't like the people. That's what it is. I don't like the people. I probably dislike the people even more than I dislike the authorities, because I think the people are accomplices in the whole thing. Although, like I say, that is slowly changing, because most of the people, or many of the people, not most, but many of them, are now being affected in a direct way by the corruption. And so they're beginning to see things as they really are, because they're having their noses rubbed in it. You know, that's what it is. They're having their noses rubbed in it. So, yeah. Anyway, that's it. I was really proud when we had the trucker convoy come to Ottawa, and I was really surprised too, because I didn't think Canadians had that in them. I didn't think there were enough Canadians to make something like that work. So I was pretty happy about that. It's one of the few times in my life I was actually proud to be a Canadian, you know, because I haven't really been proud of my citizenship, you know. I'm proud of what our men did in World War II. A lot of the concentration camps were liberated by Canadian soldiers and so on, and I am proud of that. I had relations who fought in that war, so I am proud of that. And there isn't a whole lot, though, that I'm proud of, you know, here, really. The things that a lot of people are proud of, I just see as a facade, and not even real. Like the facade that we're a very civilized place, and that are, again, you know, basically a place of civility and good government, good governance, and so on, which is a common saying, or at least it used to be a common saying when I was young. I don't see Canada that way, you know. So I can't really be proud of it for that when I disagree with the idea that that's what it is. But like I say, more people are waking up, so I guess there's some hope. And basically, when you're dealing with a bully, whether that bully's on the schoolyard or in the bar room or at work or on the street, or wearing a uniform, driving a patrol car, or sitting on Parliament Hill passing laws, when you're dealing with a bully, the only way you're going to be able to deal with that bully and not get steamrolled over is to stand up to him. That's the only way that's going to happen. And I think Canadians are starting to realize that slowly. They're an awful sleepy bunch, Canadians. And so it is a very slow process, but it is sort of kind of happening anyway. And I am happy about that, at least. Anyway, there's a beautiful old barn. Yeah. We'll go ahead this way, back to my camp. But yeah, anyway, that's it. They've been doing some work around here, cutting down all the crap, basically, that's growing up, which is good. It needed to be done. The brother who lives over here in the other house, he's been working on that, and they've done a nice job anyway, and kudos to them for that. Place looks a lot better. But anyway, that's it. That's all I had to say. We'll talk to you later.